Hello, and welcome to Albany, New York's capital city, with the largest Walmart in the United States. And I think some famous people visited once. That's it. Thanks. Oh yeah, let's talk about other things too. The flag of Albany is based off the flag of the Dutch East India Company, flown by Henry Hudson when he entered Albany via the Hudson River. The colors of the flag are orange, white, and blue. In the center of the flag, there's a seal containing a European and Amerindian man working together to hold up a shield, showing the cooperation between the two races. The shield contains two golden sheaves of wheat, which represents Albany's agricultural past. Above the wheat, there is a beaver gnawing on a tree stump, representing the fur trade. The motto assiduity is displayed beneath the shield, meaning the quality of acting with careful attention. Above the shield, there is a sloop, a type of boat, which represents Albany's dominance of the sloop navigation on the Hudson River. Hi, I'm just going to pop in again for a second and talk about the notable individuals who came from and went to Albany. Nobody famous came from Albany. In other news, Jimmy Fallon went to college here, and Alexander Hamilton got married in the area. Martin Van Buren came from Kinderhook, which is not far away. 3 presidents and 3 vice presidents have all served in the capacity of governor at some point, which is situated here in the capital, and Walmart.
This is Albany High School, where we go, and the best public high school in Albany. It has over 2,500 students, tons of AP classes, and a passing graduation rate. It is also just about as far as from LA as Alaska, Hawaii, and Guatemala. So if you want to go someplace really exotic, come here.
Welcome to the heart of Washington Park, what is basically the Central Park of Albany. Covering 81 acres, this place used to be used as a gunpowder storage area. However, today it is used for festivals, 5Ks, plays, and the Tulip Festival, which is a remnant of our Dutch heritage. That's all you need to know.
This is the New York State Capitol building, the seat of the New York State Legislature. It was built in the 1860s and 70s, costing about $720 million in today's money. This is because of money laundering schemes and other corrupt bargains by the politicians of the day. Fun fact, inside in one of the stone carvings, there's a tiny devil hidden there by a disgruntled stonemason who was fired while the building was being built.
Welcome! We are now on the site of the largest Walmart in the United States, covering 260,000 square feet.
Wow.
This is the largest building of the largest private employer in the world. Founded in 2008, it is, however, not the busiest Walmart. That's in South Dakota, but hey, we're still pretty cool. Let's take a minute to look at the awesomeness. Hallelujah. We are now inside the largest Walmart in the United States. We wanted to interview an employee, but they wouldn't let us. What are they hiding?
This is Lark Street, one of the cultural icons of Albany. Here we have events such as Lark Fest, where large amounts of people get together, celebrate culture and play games and buy things and stuff. And we have lots of artists, painters, and small businesses here, such as Bombers Burritos, which you gotta check out, mate. This is the Empire State Plaza, built for a visiting Dutch princess when she thought Albany was too boring for her. Underneath us right now are a bunch of tunnels and the concourse, which were an attempt to make a highway through the city, but the people shut down the proposal, and now we're just sitting on a bunch of empty tunnels, so it's weird. The building behind us is the Empire State Museum, where the state archives and library are held. And there's also a great place to play Risk in there as well.
Also, over there is the Corning Tower, the largest tower in New York State outside of New York City. At 539 feet and 44 stories, it is supplemented by these 4 core buildings. And it's mad cool, yo. Yeah.
This building over here is the Egg, called so because it looks like an egg. Inside, there are plays and other events held for the community.
Oh, okay. What was I supposed to say? Oh yeah, there are monuments. Yeah.
The reflecting pool.
Oh, there's a reflecting pool. This is the Palace Theater, formerly a vaudeville theater. This venue now hosts plays, community events, movie screenings, and is the home of the Albany Symphony Orchestra. There's like music and stuff. And that's where my parents work.
This is the New York State Firefighters Memorial, dedicated to all the firefighters in New York State who have died in the line of duty, including those who died during 9/11 and other similar tragedies. There are also plenty of other monuments like this across Albany, but we don't have time to get to all of them.
I wanted some slapstick humor. This is the USS Slater. It's a destroyer escort that served in Greece. That's all I need to know about that. It's moored on the Hudson River, the very same river. Henry Hudson came up in 1609 as a explorer for the Dutch. The Hudson River goes from New York City all the way to the Adirondacks, and we're somewhere in the middle, so it's cool.
No need to wait for it anymore. This is the Schuyler Mansion, home of Major General Philip Schuyler of the Revolutionary War and his daughters, the Schuyler sisters, Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, made famous by the Hamilton musical. This has been your obedient servant signing off.
Yay! Demographics. Albany has a population of 98,000, which is slightly larger than that of the Seychelles. About 45% of the people are religious, with around 30% Christian. Half the population is white, 30% African American, and 10% Hispanic. 7% are Asian, and that includes a large Filipino and Burmese community. Albany is a sanctuary city, so we've taken a lot of refugees, and we're just starting to get a large influx of Syrian refugees. In other news, Walmart.
Albany is a city with a vast history, full of war, economic expansion, and political battles. Kind of like China, but less communisty. Anyway, the first people in the area were the Algonquin and Haudenosaunee, or Iroquois tribes. But the first Europeans were the French in 1540, and they set up a fort on Castleton Island, which is across the Hudson River from us and our sworn enemy. However, it burned down. Hooray! Albany's real history began in 1609, when Henry Hudson sailed up the Hudson River and claimed the area for the Netherlands. 5 years later, Dutch fur traders set up Fort Nassau in an area just south of what would become Albany. However, in 1623, it was replaced by a larger fort up north named Fort Orange, after the House of Orange, made famous by William and Mary of Orange of the Glorious Revolution. In order to attract colonists to the area, the Dutch used the manor system, in which they would pay rent to the manor of Rensselaer, owned by Van Rensselaer, covering what is today most of the Albany and Rensselaer counties. However, a small town was established around the fort, and eventually grew and was incorporated into New Netherlands by Pieter Stuyvesant, the governor, as Beverwyck. However, in 1664, New Netherlands was taken over by the British, and Beverwyck was renamed to Albany, after the Duke of Albany, the king's brother James. In 1686, Governor Thomas Dunban issued Albany a charter, making it the oldest continuously chartered city in the U.S. and possibly in the Western Hemisphere. However, nothing much happened here until 1754, when, during the 7 Years' War, leaders from several colonies met here in order to discuss a defense plan for the French. During this meeting, Benjamin Franklin introduced his Plan of Union, which was the first such idea of a united colonial government. Although it was not accepted by Parliament, it became the foundation for the later Articles of Confederation and Constitution. During the Revolutionary War, Albany supported the First Continental Congress, and was important for strategic location and proximity to British-controlled New York City. During the war, Albanians Philip Schuyler, Peter Gansevoort, and Abraham Ten Broek were involved in the campaign. In 1797, Albany was declared the capital of the newly independent New York State to keep it away from the business center of New York City. During the 1800s, Albany became a transportation hub due to the advent of the steamship, Robert Fulton's first voyages between Albany and New York City, and the completion of the Erie Canal in 1825. Due to this and later train lines connecting us to Boston and New York City, Albany began to flourish. Also during this time, immigrants, including the Irish, Italians, Germans, and Jews, entered our community. Prior to and during the Civil War, abolitionists held protests in the city, and our very own Stephen Myers had to stop on the Underground Railroad. During the late 1800s, Albany industrialized and grew in importance. In 1908, one of the first commercial airports in the world and the first municipal airport in the United States opened up here. Many men from our area served in both World Wars, and there are monuments dedicated to them around the city. In 1942, Erastus Cornelius II came to power as mayor of Albany and served until his death in 1983, making him the longest-serving mayor in U.S. history. Also during the 1900s, many African Americans moved up north during the Great Migration and contributed to the large population we see today. Under Corning and Rockefeller, many public works projects were completed, including the Empire State Plaza, the SUNY campuses, and the Interstate Highway. KeyBank had a home here until the 1990s when it was bought out by another company. Also in the 1990s, the Albany plan gave $234 million to renovate old buildings and build new ones. Today, while not as powerful or as important as it once was, Albany is still the capital of one of the country's most important states and has a thriving economic and political community, as well as an amazing Walmart.
In conclusion, Albany has a Walmart. This video has been sponsored by etymologynerd.com. Thank you.